Anyways, I'm a bit late watching this because I got sidetracked because of the absolutely unhinged news coming out of the US that Biden dropped out. Oh my lord, what is going on there? Anyways, yeah, so we'll see if this race is equally as unhinged. There's some people starting on softs. I think both of the Aston Martins are, and Sargent Albon is. And then we have Perez and Russell on hards. My prediction going into this weekend would be that Lewis would win this race. Not sure if that's going to happen at this point, so I'm thinking one of the McLarens will get it. We'll see if there's anything unhinged that happens at turn 1. Hungary is always a mystery in terms of that. Alright, here we go. Lights out and away we go! Okay. Lando got a great start. Oh my god, him and Oscar are battling. Oh god. Verstappen's got the slipstream! Oh my god, they're going through one! Oh my god. Oscar's in the lead! Let's go! Oh, Lando's really falling back. Oh, jeez. Oh, and Lewis is battling his way through.
Verstappen will be told to give at least one place back there.
Okay, yeah, he was off the track there. Lando?
Max has to give the position.
Okay, we'll see what happens there. Come on, Oscar! Let's go. Now Oscar has to manage his tires.
Sonoda has lost a place to Kevin Magnussen on the opening lap.
And Daniel fell to 11th, of course. They always suck on the restart.
Gap out in front already. 1.5 seconds.
Good one, Oscar.
Verstappen has been noted for leaving the track and gaining.
Okay, they've noted it.
I got forced off. I was ahead at the apex and he just opened the wheel, so I got forced off. Understood, Max.
Okay, Max is gonna get a 10-second penalty here unless he gives it to Lando. Alright, Carlos passed Alonso. How did he get behind Leclerc? I thought Leclerc qualified ahead of him. Interesting. Leclerc must have had a good start.
Yeah, he was only ahead because he braked way too deep. He committed to the exit.
They need to penalize Max or he's going to keep doing that. That's kind of the same excuse that he had in Austria with Lando. You can't overtake off the track.
Max, the incident is under investigation. I think our recommendation is you let this go. We can talk about it later.
He's letting him past. Yep. Okay, because otherwise it would have been 10 seconds, so that's the move you got to do. No further action yet, because he gave it back.
Okay, so you can just drive people off the track then.
No. When Max gets like this is sometimes when he starts to drive unhinged, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, Hungary's tough to pass, so we'll see. It's kind of turn 1 or that set of turns there that you can get people, and other than that, there's like not much you can do. Okay, let's see this restart again. Lando had a great first phase, but then Oscar had a fantastic second phase. And then Max is going on the outside. Lando kind of pushes him wide, but then he has his teammate in the middle. Yeah, he can't really go inside anymore. And so Max pushed him past him off the track. But even if he wasn't, like, you can't pass off track, so I don't understand what Max's complaint is. So we got Albon pitting and Magnussen pitting and Ocon pitting. Hulkenberg pit earlier, which is interesting. Come on, Oscar. Manage your tires, man. You can do it. All right, Daniel's pitting as well, and Alonso. But Daniel is a tire-saving master, so I think he's probably doing a 2-stop still, even though he's stopping early. Ooh, Daniel. Oh, dang. Daniel's just falling like a rock. Leclerc's kind of right on the back of this. There's kind of like a 5-way kind of battle right now. Well, not really battle, but like there's 5 cars kind of close to each other. Sainz is a little bit back and then Stroll's way back. Why is Stroll still out there on softs? They've got this drone happening, and I don't know how I feel about this. It's a little bit dizzying. Yes, we'll see what these front runners do for strategy. I feel like Daniel's play here is to just hang out where he is and then be the first to pit the second time. I think it's pretty tough around Hungary. Hungary's tough on the tires, even though they have the softest compounds.
Lando comes out behind Alex Albon and under pressure from Daniel Ricciardo.
Come on, GR, you gotta get past him. If Daniel gets stuck behind Stroll, still gonna be so pissed. Dang it. How did Daniel lose out to literally everyone that was behind him? Ugh.
Max said, idea, I'd like to go up on it, but I can't. This is the only way I can survive.
It's funny how the Red Bull immediately falls apart as soon as Adrian Louis leaves. Objectively so funny. Hamilton's first in. Okay. Lando's pitting.
Red Bull think it's a bit too early to make a pit stop, so they've left Verstappen out.
That's going to be a mistake, I think.
I can't brake, I can't enter corners. Front end rear is just really bad.
Copy that, Max.
Oh boy, that Red Bull is really falling apart. That's shocking. These upgrades. Every single team seems to have issues when they first bring upgrades. They just don't know how to properly set it up. So Lewis is basically saying, please give me a medium at the end.
Copy.
Ooh, Leclerc pan C. That's pretty rare. Okay, Max is boxing. Max is out ahead of Yuki, but behind Lewis.
Keep it up. This is really good driving.
I love how encouraging Brian is with Charles. And Daniel's still fucked down at 60. How did that happen? Oh my god. Science got Russell. I feel like Russell and Perez are actually playing this really well, because I feel like they're going to go super late with these hards, and Gasly is so far behind them that they're going to have a little bit of a gap, or at least be able to make up positions. So, oh, what did they do with Daniel? It's so frustrating. Because I think last year Daniel took a set of mediums like 42 laps or something here. So I feel like he's going to do the same thing. So if that's the case, he could probably pit in the next couple laps here and do it. But then if there's like a safety car or something, that's kind of the only thing that would kind of hurt that strategy. Oscar's doing such a good job. I wonder if he's just better when leading. Oh, Daniel's pitting again. That's exactly what I said. He's going to pit onto maybe another set of hards, maybe mediums, to be the first in here. Okay, I think he's on the hards again. Yep. And now he's going to go to the end because he's a master of tire management. Now he has free air and he pit first. And it's probably unlikely that anyone around him is going to pit now because they're going to have to be a master of tire management too. Yuki's finally pitting. Hulkenberg and Albon are pitting because they need to get ahead of Ricciardo. Is Daniel going to get the Haas and Albon here is the question. He got Albon. Is he going to get Hulk? Yeah, he got Hulk as well. Nice undercut, Danny.
Perez on the move, on the charge, on the straights, and getting past Kevin Magnussen.
Wait, how did Perez get Magnussen? Has Perez pit yet? Oh, he just pit for mediums. How did Perez stay that high up the order? Oh my god. They did a really good job with strategy then. Russell as well, I guess. Oh no, Russell's still on the hards. Yeah, Yuki's strategy was so much better than Daniel's so far. It seems like you're better off going... If you're not the car to undercut, it seems like you're actually better off to extend your stint. Just because you get stuck behind a slower car and it just ruins that strategy. And like if you're undercut, you're already screwed anyways. So like, what's the point? Gasly hit pit again already. Yeah, so those cars that went long initially, that was probably the better strategy. Daniel's pit twice and Russell hasn't even pit once yet. Yeah, Perez is actually doing pretty well. He's fighting for his seat right now.
Hamilton's tyres are going, and almost gone, I think, here, as Verstappen has to stay behind.
Lewis might have pushed too hard. Oh, Gasly's got to retire. Oh, no. God, that's 2 races in a row for him. Ugh. Alpine are always so bad around this time. He's retired at those last 2 races last year, too.
Verstappen's right behind him, chasing him down into turn 1. Hamilton cuts him off.
Oh, Lewis, what is going on with your tires, man? Oh. Oh, he went off, though.
He then goes wide, and
oh,
Hamilton
jeez.
regains that 3rd place.
A -5 brake pace, and the thing just doesn't turn. It's unbelievable.
Daniel's doing a full 2 seconds a lap faster than Bottas right now.
Still Leclerc's hanging on nicely in the low 124s, late 1 minute 23s. That's race leading pace. Don't count out Charles Leclerc yet.
Come on, Charles. Glad that the Ferraris finally figured something out. Wow, Daniel managed to undercut everyone again. So I guess that was their plan, is like, we can get... I think that is the thing in Hungary, though. Like, if you get undercut in the first stint, as long as you are undercut the second stint yourself, you're okay. It's like the second stint that matters the most. So Daniel will hopefully come 9th or 10th with Yuki. See what strategy he ends up doing. He might be doing the one stop, actually. All right, let's get back to this lead battle here. Back to 2021, Max versus Lewis. Okay, Lewis is boxing now. Charles is as well. So he might get ahead of Max.
It's quite impressive how we let ourselves get undercut in this completely race.
We haven't had this Max in a long time. He's just been very happy, driving away at the front. Dominant car, no need to worry. But now he has a bunch of stress again. Oh, Alonso got past Daniel. Stop with the drone shots! I feel so dizzy watching that. Okay, Norris is pitting.
Is this all about protecting Lando's position here and then maybe swapping places later on in the race, I wonder?
We'll find out.
Good one, Lando. 2.3, pretty quick. So Daniel's in P11. Just need him to get one position by the end of the race and I'll be happy. Okay, Oscar's boxing now.
There's no way Oscar Piastri's pitting and coming out ahead of Lando Norris.
Are they screwing Piastri here for the championship for Lando?
Oscar's been told, don't worry about Lando, but that's easy for McLaren to say.
Yeah, what are they gonna do? Oh, this is gonna be interesting. Are we gonna get a multi-21 situation?
Okay, Lando, Oscar has just pitted. He will likely come out just behind you. We'd like to re-establish the order at your convenience.
Oh, he's wide.
Ooh. Okay, we'll see if Lando actually does it. Oh, this is gonna be fascinating. What are they gonna do? Lando's gonna say he has to get up to my ass before I give this back, is what he's probably thinking. Max is in. I think he's gonna come out. Will he come out behind Leclerc? Yeah. Oh, jeez. He's gonna be so pissed. So he's got 10 lap fresher tires than Lewis. And the same as Leclerc as well, because they pitted on lap 40. Oh my god, Perez had pit again and he still came out in the same position he pitted in pretty well.
Okay, Oscar, so once you get to Lando, we will swap position, but we want to avoid Lando having to give up a lot of race time.
Oh, Oscar's gonna be so pissed off if he doesn't get this position back.
The hards for the race.
Lando, radio check please.
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, save the tyres in turn 4 and turn 11 then please.
So he hadn't responded. He's been told to save turn 4 again.
Well, that's some gentle introduction.
No, mate, don't give me that. Now. You guys give me the strategy, okay? I'm trying to rescue myself.
It's like managing a toddler. When Max is in the car, I think sometimes when he's in the car, it's a trauma response, his like behavior on the radio. Stroll's probably gonna get Daniel here pretty soon. Daniel's tires are old and Stroll's are like 15 laps younger. It's gonna be tough for Daniel to get points, I think, which is unfortunate.
Counter that.
We need you to save more tyres please, and we do want to let Oscar through.
We should have boxed him first then, surely, no?
Doesn't matter.
I mean, it does. For me, maybe.
You know what? I don't blame. If McLaren wanted Oscar to win this race, they should have put him first. That's exactly correct. And like, I feel bad for Oscar here, but this is McLaren's failure to manage that. A driver will never ever give up a race win by team orders. It will not happen. Unless it is so vitally important for the championship, which I think Bottas had to do once, and I think Barrichello did it quite a bit with Schumacher back in the day. So this is McLaren's failure, which is one of the benefits of Red Bull having one far superior driver, is that they never have to worry about situations like this. So there's such a delicate balance that you have to strike with that. And like, shout out Formula whatever, but like, she is like a staunch hater of team orders, and I agree. Like, this is the team's fault for putting Lando in this position. Lando's gonna go for the win. You guys are underestimating his desire to be a team player. And Lando has all the power here because he's their star driver, and so if he doesn't give it back, he's gonna be like, Piastri should have gotten up to the rear of me and he didn't, so it's his fault. You know, like, it's gonna be that kind of thing. Which, like, if there is a championship battle next year and they don't swap back here, like, this is gonna be the beginning of the end for their relationship, and oh my god. Oh, Max got Charles.
And Lando, we still think you're using the tyres too much. Turn 4, turn 11, and the rear's exit. Turn 6, turn 9. Oscar's 3.5. I know you'll do the right thing.
Oh my god.
Just going to put into your mind, Martin, Oscar Piastri's manager, Mark Webber, knows a thing or two about team orders, not being
Yeah. He's getting Mark Webbered here. He's getting Mark Webbered. Oh boy. Oh my god. He's gonna ask for forgiveness, not permission. That's what's gonna happen here. I just know.
No, a blind glace or something, Lando will be saying in a minute. So
Oh my god.
it will be a major issue for McLaren if these places are not swapped round, that they'll have to manage.
Yep. And it's gonna be their own fault. You should have pit him first. Oh my god. It's 4 seconds now.
On occasion, he's had to do the team thing, and he's put up with it, made no fuss.
But it's never been for a win. It doesn't matter that he's been compliant in the past. If it's for a win, they're not going to be compliant. They love to win too much. McLaren! Oh my god!
And look, I'm the one second in the World Championship. I'm taking points out of Max Verstappen today.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. If they don't swap and they're both on the podium, it's gonna be the spiciest cooldown room we're gonna have in years. But I think they need to go through this because you need to learn how to manage these situations if you're going to be a championship winning team. Both of the McLarens have dropped Hamilton though.
Piastri just lost another 0.8 of a second lapping Hungary.
Yeah, Oscar pushed his tires too much and now he's not going to be able to get.
Yeah, tell him to catch up then, please.
But Lando's not letting him catch up and Oscar's ruined his tires. And I think Max has a chance of catching him by the end then. Well, actually, let's see. Oscar's still going about the same pace as Max, but Max is currently behind Hamilton, so he'll probably have a lot more pace. Yeah, Oscar's really losing pace now. Oh my god. Oh, McLaren. Oh, the drama. Oh, Max. Oh. Oh, good one, Lewis. Good defending.
Did you leave the cars yet?
I think you were behind at the apex, Max.
Okay, whatever.
It's about where your front axle aims.
Here we go again then, and you can see Verstappen
Oh,
closing,
that Williams.
braking, he's gonna
Oh my god.
away, and hits Lewis Hamilton.
Oh my god.
And he's
Now
lost place.
he's been passed by Charles Leclerc as well.
Oh my god. He still managed to stay 5th though, even though they made contact. Norris radio.
He can't catch you up. You've proved your point.
I mean, I would have tried to undercut anyway. If I didn't, I would have gone long.
Mate, we did the stop sequence in this order for the good of the team.
Okay,
I'm trying to protect you, mate. I promise, I'm trying to protect you.
This is turning into a discussion over the team radio that McLaren probably do not want. But
Yep. Oh! Oh my god! I didn't even realize that he flew! Oh! Oh my god.
Didn't move the steering, mate. Copy, mate. So that was Verstappen. He arrived out of control into that one.
I think there's a penalty coming Max Verstappen's way for causing a collision.
Wow, this, oh my god, so...
Yeah, moved under braking.
not even going to get into a radio fight with the other teams, Max. We'll let the stewards do their thing. It's childish on the radio. Childish.
Red Bull's having arguments, McLaren's having arguments. Like, what the this is such a dramatic race. Oh my god.
Verstappen's going to lose ground in the championship for the first time this season.
Wow. But I think this is smart then by Lando to keep this position. He's like, listen, I don't think he's going to do it.
Max Verstappen, who has just driven and sounded irritable and annoyed and furious and just irked throughout this entire race.
That's what I was saying at the start of this race, is like that incident with Lando kind of set him off, got him into this mindset, and he's just been a little bit irritated this whole time. And when he's irritated and when you get in his head, that's when he starts making lunges, making like very aggressive moves. And so that's how you have to race against Max if you want to beat him, is because that's the only way that you can get him to not drive like a robot, is to make him have emotions. Oh my god.
And Lando, there are 5 laps to go. The way to win a championship is not by yourself, it's with the team. You're going to need Oscar, and you're going to need the team.
That is exactly that's the other point, but I think that the championship here, Lando has a huge opportunity to take a huge amount of points from Max, so... But Oscar has not said anything. We haven't heard any of Oscar's radio.
We leave this the risker it gets.
What I wouldn't give to be in that debrief. Formula 1 is back, baby! We've been saying for years we've hated this lovey-dovey energy between all the drivers, but now that the championship race is on... Oh, he's going slow.
3 laps to go. Oscar Piastri can see Lando Norris going very slowly.
Okay.
Oscar Piastri
Okay, interesting.
lead of this race.
Oh, wow. Oh, man. Lando's gonna hate it.
Yeah, you don't need to say anything.
Oh my god. But does Oscar want to get his first win this way is the other question.
Now he's put his team through it, but he's eventually done the right thing. Thing is, Martin, he is now still within DRS range.
Yeah.
So what's the orders? Is he allowed to...
Yeah, is he gonna fight him back? Is that what he's gonna do? He's gonna try and pass him back? Oh my god. That's definitely what he's thinking. He's like, if I let him through, I stay in his DRS, I can pass him right back, and then he can't say anything. I gave him the position back. Oh my god. Is that what's gonna happen? I'm shocked that Lando did that. If this ends up costing Lando for the championship, he is gonna be livid. I really think that this was on McLaren. I think McLaren caused this issue by pitting Lando first. I mean, there was the issue of whether Hamilton or Verstappen was gonna do anything, but they did this to themselves, and if they should have had to live with the consequences of it. Yeah, Lando's just, oh my god. What is gonna, oh my god, this debrief is still gonna be wild. And this cooldown room too. Like, this hasn't been the best race in the world, like, but just the amount of drama. F1 is so back. Is so back. This is like early 2010s level of drama. I love it. I love it. And we're getting like a Nico Lewis. Oh, I love it. Ah. People say that sports isn't soap operas. I'm like so happy for Oscar, but like he's not going to really be able to celebrate this win though.
It is Oscar Piastri, Grand Prix winner.
Well, I was right about both McLaren's winning, and good job, Oscar. Super happy for him. Oh my god, I cannot wait for this post. Race media. And Lewis P3. Wow. Leclerc P4. Leclerc finished ahead of Verstappen. Woohoo! Oh my god, I cannot wait for this cooldown room.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much. Thanks for the coordination. Yeah, sorry. I made the swap a little bit more painful than it needed to be.
Because he's not able to really celebrate because he's just like thinking about how his teammate had to hand it to him. Like, I don't know. I don't think I agree with this. I think Lando should have kept it. I think they needed to They needed to have just committed to that decision.
Good load of points. Progress team. Well deserved. As we said this morning, mate, many more opportunities.
Verstappen ended up 5th, didn't he?
Is he going to get a penalty, though, for that collision, is the question? Oh, I guess I can check that now. GP calling Max childish. Oof. Yay, Oscar. Daniel's sitting in the car. I think he got pretty screwed with the strategy today, honestly. Finished P12. Ugh, yeah. The zoom in on the 2. Still a 1-2 for McLaren. Oh, and they got Nico giving the interviews! Aw, Lando's being nice about it, though. Oh yeah, I still haven't seen if Max got a penalty or not, but not that it matters. 7 race winners in 13 races. Holy shit, that's incredible. I was not expecting that this year. That is crazy. 7 winners.
Drivers' Championship.
You had a fast car 7 years ago. 7 years ago. That's a long time. You had it. You had a quick car. You made the most of it. Now it's us. I wasn't complaining. I was just complimenting your car.
Oscar! Another icon to win his first race in Hungary! Wow, the last time we heard this was when Daniel won.
Which debrief do you want to go to tonight? The McLaren one or the Red Bull one?
Oh, that is a good question. Red Bull debrief or McLaren debrief? You know what? I will give Lando credit though. He used empathy there and was like, if I was in Oscar's shoes, how would I feel if I didn't give it back? And like, he's gonna keep him as a teammate. Like, they're gonna be able to use each other, because if he's Oscar over here, Oscar is not gonna help him win a championship. And so I think he lost the battle to win the war, I think is what happened there. Okay, looks like Max didn't get a penalty. I don't know, maybe they just thought the fact he lost a couple positions was penalty enough, but I don't know. I think they do need to kind of do something. Woo! Lando did the bottle smash! That means he's not pissed off. Oh, this season just keeps on getting better and better. I love it. Oh my god. But now they're tied on 1 race win apiece, which is wild considering how good their car is. But hopefully from here on out, they have the best car and they'll be able to take a lot more wins. I want them to win the constructors and try and put some pressure on Max for the drivers too. So we'll have to keep it in our back of our head that if at the end of the season Lando has a chance at the championships and he's within 7 points, he can point at this race for a reason why he might have lost it. Ugh, and RB completely f***ed over Daniel's strategy, so no one better say after this one that Daniel is washed, because that was entirely RB's fault. Because why did they pit him off of mediums at the start yeah. They pit him with the soft runners for reasons unknown, when they should have just done the same thing as Yuki, and then they both could have finished in the points. It won't matter though if Daniel gets that second seat, but I think, what position did Checo finish in? I totally have not been paying attention while these have gone. Paris managed to finish 7th. So, and Russell 8th, so they did a fantastic job with the strategy then. Lewis is ahead of Perez now. George is still behind him. But yeah, Sergio might drop to 8th by the summer break. We'll see how this last race at Spa goes. McLaren's past Ferrari now. And they're, 47? No, 51 behind Red Bull now. So I think that's easily attainable. I think they can win the constructors. For sure. Even Ferrari isn't that far off. Ferrari had a good race. Like, kind of were anonymous, like, in the middle there. But Leclerc to finish 4th. He's back on form again, which is good. I'm curious what happened with Carlos, because he seemed to not have any pace. Time to debrief that race. Wow. I'm trying to decide if I would put that in banger or not, because McLaren, like, pretty well ran away with it. Max was super pissed off. There wasn't anything like really, really incredible about that race. Like, there wasn't that much overtaking because it's Hungary. Oscar got his first race win though. But for me, this is clearly a great race, but the difference between a great race and a banger for me is there has to be something memorable about the race you can point to. So when you're looking back on seasons in the past, you can point to that race and be like, that was an incredible race. Like, looking back at 2021, I think the races that you can put in bangers are Saudi Arabia, because it was just so unhinged. Obviously Abu Dhabi, only because of the ending, even as controversial as it was. Monza, because of the collision there. Britain, because of their collision there. Hungary, because of Ocon's win. And really, those were all of the moments that kind of defined that season. And so those are the ones that go into banger, in my opinion. There were sure a lot of races that had a lot of interesting strategy and like battles and stuff, but if there isn't a moment that you can point to in that race, in my opinion, it's not a banger race. So I think this race, while there wasn't very much going on in terms of like overtaking, there was a lot of strategy happening, but it's more so that moment at the end with the McLarens and team orders, Max being pissed off, and that collision with Lewis. Will we remember that when we look back on the season? Maybe not, but maybe we will point to this race as the race where we've finally kind of recognized that the Red Bull isn't the fastest car anymore, and this is the point at which McLaren starts to take over. And so that's kind of a thing I point to, because that's another thought I have about 2023 is I almost think that Miami would then consider a banger race, because that was the race where Max put his foot down and was like, I'm winning this championship, and then Checo had nothing from then on in. That race basically ended Checo's career at Red Bull because he hasn't been the same since. And so does that race go into the banger category because you look back on that season and you're like, that was a defining moment in that season? And while that race, well, I don't know, maybe I would just put that one in good race, because you kind of have to also watch the race. And if there isn't anything that happens, maybe it's just like it's a moment within the entirety of the season that is memorable. But I don't know, maybe I'm just rambling. But I think especially in terms of Hungary, in which it doesn't always generate the best racing because it's so difficult to overtake, if there's other factors at play that make it memorable, then it kind of is classified as a banger by Hungary's standards. And just all of the drama that's going to come out of this one, I think, just makes me think that it's a banger. But I don't know. Yeah, let me know in your opinion down below if you think it was a banger, if you think that it was just a great race with all of this other drama kind of adding a little bit of spice to it. But yeah, obviously curious to see what'll happen with McLaren from this race. I think, like I said earlier, I think Lando decided to lose the battle to win the war, because he knows that he's going to need a good teammate by his side willing to support him if he's going to make a championship push. But my other thought is Oscar was looking pretty good in this race, and he's slowly and surely becoming a stronger and stronger driver, especially in terms of tire management. Apart from the end of that last stint, he wasn't doing a very good job there. But slowly and surely, Oscar is learning that skill. And once he does, I think it's going to be harder in order to get him to support Lando, because I think they might be pretty tight. If they have a dominant car next year, they might be able to battle each other. So we'll see. Yeah, Red Bull, Max's radios that race were fascinating. I think Max sees the writing on the wall and sees that McLaren is the better car, and I think he's starting to get stressed about it again. And when he's stressed in the car, that's when he makes mistakes. And when he's racing other drivers, that's when he also makes mistakes as well. He's so good when he's in control, but as soon as there's a little bit out of his control, that's when he starts to spiral a bit. And these were the kind of races that we got in 2021. And so it's fascinating to see him in them again. And like, once again, it's Lewis Hamilton that makes him lose it a little bit. But all I want from F1 is there to be a championship battle. And I'm not taking any joy, well, maybe just a little bit of joy and Max kind of having to suffer now. But I think this year, like at the start of the year, it was very surprising that all of the turmoil going on behind the scenes at Red Bull wasn't really impacting their on-track performance, but I think it is now. And I think part of it is that Adrian Newey decided to leave. I think that has hurt them in terms of car development. I think I'm starting to wonder if just when you want to be a good team, people have to be motivated to want to do a good job for the people that are there. And so I question how much the team around Max and around Christian Horner are wanting to do their best anymore in order to support them. Especially Horner, because of all of the stuff that happened. And I think Max threatening to leave and just doing a lot more blaming on the team. I wonder if it's starting to affect the morale there. And I wonder if morale's just been low this year, and so they just haven't been able to be the same level of team that they were last year. But then I guess the other teams catching up as well just puts a lot more pressure on them as well. So I'm sure it's a lot more of a stressful environment as well. And so that's leading to them making mistakes as well, which is another thing that I've said is like, when we start putting pressure on Red Bull again, that's what's going to force them to start making mistakes. When you're out in the lead by 30 seconds, of course it's easy to make the right strategy call because you have time, and if you make a small error, it isn't as apparent. But now it's like so tight, the margins are so fine that if you're not making the right decision strategy-wise, like you're losing several positions, because Max probably should have finished that race third. But it was the fact that Red Bull let him get undercut twice, led him to finish in fifth. Although he probably would have gotten back into third with that strategy, but then he collided with Lewis. So I think that one partially on the team for putting him in that position, but then he just made a aggressive move and collided with Lewis, who wasn't going to move. Like Lewis drives Max the way Max drives against everyone else. Just will not. He stands his ground, and that's what Lando did in Austria too. Is he stood his ground, and Max collided into him. And so it's kind of like you're starting to see how you need to fight Max, and it's fascinating. It's really fascinating. So yeah, I'm just so happy that F1's back. The drama is back. The unhinged behavior is back. The good racing is back. And oh, I love this season. And I hope 2025 is like this. And I just like, I really want them to push back the new regs. Just give us like one more season, because it's just been so good this year. I cannot believe we've had 7 different winners in 13 races. That is unbelievable. But yeah, anyways, I think I could do a little bit of a ramble on all the other teams, but honestly, there was so much going on at the front that I don't really have enough information on what happened with them to really comment. But Daniel got screwed, so don't let anyone tell you that he didn't. Okay, actually, one more rant. Let's go on a rant about team orders. I think that Lando probably made the right call to let Oscar pass, because he's going to need his teammate if he wants to have a championship run. If it costs him this year, that's going to be a bigger issue. But I think if McLaren didn't want this situation to happen, they should have pit Oscar first and then Lando. Even though they were concerned about Lewis undercutting them. Oh, actually, yeah, how close was the undercut is the other question. Actually, I do kind of see McLaren's point. They were worried about Hamilton undercutting Norris. Yeah. I don't know. It's so tricky. But I think McLaren should have figured out a way to do that situation without this scenario having to occur, in which either if it's like pitting Oscar before Max, or not even Max, if they pit Oscar before Hamilton pit, and then they could undercut, and then they could prevent the undercut with Lando. I think that would have been the better way to do it. Or if they had enough of a gap, they might have been able to double stack. That would have been the most fair way to do it. But I don't think that maybe they didn't have enough of a gap. Oh, I don't know. That's the thing. Like the strategy of it, like maybe that was the only move they could have made in that moment. I don't know. But I don't like team orders, because it should be on the team to manage that off track, because a driver is always going to go for a win. And so I'm very surprised that Lando actually backed off. And I think it was the right call for him, in the long run, but I don't know. So maybe Lando was just making it a point by dragging it out so long. I don't know. It's such a tricky thing because we don't know what the other strategy options they could have had. Like, I think for the team they made the right call, but oh man, I don't know. I really don't know. Okay, that was less of a rant and more of a me coming to the realization that maybe McLaren did what they had to do. Anyways, what are your thoughts about the team order? Should they have done it? Should they have let Oscar win? Or not let Lando keep the position? What do you think would have happened if Lando had kept the position? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens from that. That is fascinating. But Lando seemed to be okay with his decision after the race. And Oscar seemed to be okay with the fact that he was given the win back. So, I don't know. Well, I think they avoided a massive issue there, I think, is what happened. I think Lando proved in that moment that he is a team player. And so, good on him for doing that. Maybe wouldn't be me. I don't know. I can get very competitive. But yeah, we'll see. And I'm very curious what Formula Whatever has to say about that too. Anywho, I'll leave it there. Sorry, I keep rambling, but yeah, just a fantastic race. I love this season so much. Can we have it last for another 2 years after this one, please? Toodles.